yourself a very Merry Christmas. Let the Yuletide suck. And tonight I hope you get a very good meal. If anyone is offended by that, please tell me in the comments so I can completely ignore you. What shall we talk about today? How about Watchtower's insane obsession with the Old Testament? Before I was dragged into the Jehovah's Witnesses as a kid, we went to this little church. I don't remember the denomination. We went to this little church nearby in the neighborhood, you know. I don't remember them ever teaching us about, you know, anything in the Old Testament, except maybe the Ten Commandments. Other than that, there was nothing. Ten Commandments, Noah, the flood, you know. They didn't get into all this, you know, prophets, Ezekiel's and Jeremiah's and Jedediah's and all the kings of Judea and kings of Samaria and, 12 tribes of Israel. We never, most Christian religions teach Christianity. Christianity is in the New Testament. And yet, I would say at least 50% of the shit that I was taught in that cult, in the Watchtower cult, involved the Old Testament. What is with their obsession with the Old Testament? I know more about ancient Jewish tradition and religion, religious practices, than most Jews do. Ask the average Jew what the Day of Atonement is, or what the Festival of Booths. What was the color of the fringes on the high priest's robe? If you asked a Jewish person that, they'd look at you like, you know, what planet are you from? They don't know, and they don't care, nor does anyone else. And yet Jehovah's Witnesses, Watchtower, went into such great detail. I remember there was one talk. I mean, this was like a special needs talk. You know what? The end of the midweek meeting, if there's some special need, they take out 10 minutes to give this special needs talk, a specific thing for the congregation. This dude comes up and tells us how to pronounce the word that means the ancient Hebrew court. Okay? The court, the ancient Hebrew court. Court of law, court of religious law, whatever. And we were all pronouncing it Sanhedrin, a Sanhedrin. He comes up and he gives us a whole speech about how it's not pronounced Sanhedrin. It's pronounced Sanhedrin. Sanhedrin. A whole 10-minute talk on the correct pronunciation. If you ask the average Jewish person today, how do you pronounce Sanhedrin? They wouldn't even know what you're talking about. And yet we were learning this stuff. And by the way, I looked that up recently, and actually the correct pronunciation is either way. Sanhedrin is correct, Sanhedrin is correct. They're both correct. So this dude obviously had no clue what he was talking about. But yeah, I mean, if you're a JW watching this, or an ex-JW, you know what I'm talking about. Half the shit we were learning was like, Ezekiel and Jeremiah and, Moses and shit. Like, how is that how is that relevant to a Christian or Christianity? Like, knowing the color of the fringes on the high priest's robe on Atonement Day, or what kind of animals they sacrificed on Passover, or, you know, the Festival of Booths. how the story of, I don't know, Queen Jezebel and you know, all these crazy Old Testament stories, you know, all the laws and remember when we would read, because we had a weekly Bible reading, right? Every week you read a couple of chapters of the Bible. By the end of a couple of years, you read the whole Bible. We read chapter by chapter by chapter. And you're reading all these laws about fucking circumcision and fucking, you know, how to determine if a virgin is how to determine if a virgin is a virgin, and if she's not on her wedding night, if it turns out she's not a virgin, she's supposed to be stoned to death. And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I thought I was a Christian. That's what I thought. But like I said, more than 50% of the stuff they're teaching is from the Old Testament. Like, what is their obsession with the Old Testament? Even now, I see copies of the Watchtower. On the cover, you see pictures, you know, drawings of some old dude with a full beard, you know, Moses, you know. What is wrong with these people? Yeah, that's all I have to say. What is wrong with these people?